What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another gameplay video for Riftbound League of Legends TCG. My name is Joey, and in today's video, we have myself on the right playing more of my more so red Darius aggro mid-range build, and on the left we have my friend Rishi playing Volibear ramp. Apologies for the very small life tracker in advance. This is before we realized we had the technology of the Lorcana life tracker, so it seems like it's relatively clear on the screen here. But we're going to go ahead and try to narrate this as best as possible. I am going to go ahead and start the game off with a Poro in my base. Our two battlefields are Sigil of Storm and Fortified Position. So the thing about Sigil of Storm is it's really going to make me think twice about conquering it without a care in the world, because I don't want to be setting back my rune too much, because eventually I'll get to a point where my tempo is just so far behind and I can't make bigger, more explosive plays. But at the same time, I'm playing an aggro deck into an Aurora deck. This is without sideboard as well, so I don't have like automatic gear removal at my disposal. So I am going to have to be very careful with how I go about taking these two battlefields to try to win before I get pressured out by Aurora. We do see that Rishi doesn't really have the turn 1 play of Mobilize though, so that is going to work decently in my favor. However, I'm still going to be very careful, because that Sigil is very scary to go into because of the tempo loss that it could possibly generate. We are thinking here of what the best play might be. We see a couple different options in our hand. We're going to go ahead and drop the Poro into the fortified position. Rishi will give us a point there. We'll play Kaisa into our base. We didn't have the entire play with the red seal like you saw in the previous gameplay video, where we could have sent Kaisa in to Sigil of the Storm. That would have been a very heavy setback on runes though, so I don't even know if I would have necessarily wanted that play or not, but we'll go ahead and see what Rishi's follow-up on 5 energy is. We do see the Blazing Scorcher in his hand, so he can get a ramp there, and he would still be able to answer our Daring Poro, which is solid. He could also go for the Snap Vine, but I don't think it's super necessary at this point. I do think this play is much better going for the Scorcher instead of the Snap Vine, because he can just swing into Poro and still clear it with his 5 might. So I don't think setting himself back on runes is something he really needed to do. We do see the Falling Star in Rishi's hand as well, which can be very scary for me in a little bit, because that could set my tempo back really hard. We're going to go ahead and drop Seal of Rage using our leader and the floated energy that we use for the seal. And we're giving Rishi the choice on if he wants to basically give up his Blazing Scorcher or let us draw 2 cards. I'm honestly okay with either scenario, because that means that Daring Poro is probably just going to score more points in that case. It is a tough decision though. Like, a lot of people do hate on Shakedown. I personally, like I've said many times, love this card because it puts our opponents in really rough positions when it's used well. So we got to draw 2 out of that, not complaining at all. If I do have the follow-up Noxie and Guillotine, I mean, that's just even better. I don't think I do quite have that, but we'll go ahead and make the best play we can with the cards that we have. I could, of course, throw something else into the fortified position to make it harder for Rishi to actually beat over it, and then throw Kaisa into the Sigil of the Storm. Looks like we're thinking about a Darius play here. So we'll go ahead and use our remaining 5 runes in order to play the Darius. We'll see if we swap it out. I assume I want to swap it out for the Daring Poro, and then throw Kaisa into the Sigil to get that draw. Again, though, you can see how tough of a decision it is, because setting ourselves back on runes is real tough. All right, so it looks like we're going to go the opposite. And this is just so that the Blazing Scorcher doesn't trade into the Kaisa for free, because the Blazing Scorcher is a bigger unit, and that would be problematic. I want to keep my Kaisa. If he does answer either battlefield, I can send it in, maybe get a draw. But I think this turn could have gone a few different ways on my end, so we'll see how this particular choice works out. We are just going to go Scorcher right into Poro. No problem. Give Rishi his first point there. It's currently 1-3. Dropping the Snap Vine, clear the Darius out right away. Rishi ramps 1 back. That's going to keep him at 7 runes. So next turn he is able to drop Aurora. So this is a relatively solid curve for what he's trying to do. We'll see if he has a follow-up for the 3 mana. He could certainly leave it open for something like Sky Splitter. Still cast it for 3. That's totally fine. We will see now what our best play is, because That Blazing Scorcher, can't really beat over it. We can go take the Sigil of the Storm. That's going to set us back in runes. This game's looking a little bit scary as Darius, to be quite honest. Especially with the fact that Dazzling Aurora is coming up next turn. Taking a look at our hand here, trying to decipher what the best play is. We see another Kaisa. We see a Legion Rearguard, which at this point I think I'm thinking about keeping in my hand as like a last-ditch effort to sneak the final point if possible, because I really need to try to get under this entire Dazzling Aurora setup that Rishi's got going for him. Although we will just cast the Rearguard for 2. Or maybe not. Trying to see if there's a better play we can do here. Maybe cast the Phoenix just to get that in motion. This one's looking a little bit rough, to be honest. If you guys have a better idea for a play, by the way, definitely drop it down in the comments, because I'm still learning here. We're all still learning in this community, so if I'm not seeing a play line, definitely drop it down in the comments below so that I can learn. We'll go ahead and use our leader as one of our remaining energy to drop a Noxus Hopeful. We will go ahead and throw Kaisa into the Sigil because we just need to score those points. We need to generate those draws, even at the cost of losing runes. And we will see what Rishi has in store for us. He's going to go ahead and score a hold point there. Restand his Snapvine, which can easily take over my Kaisa. Going to go ahead and float one, it looks like. So, slight misplay on our part. He didn't drop the extra rune for the Sigil, but that's okay. I mean, he still could have made this play. He just would have been at 1 less rune. End his turn and go ahead and grab the Kadrigrin. Generating 3 draws off of this, which is nuts. Yeah, so he's up 1 extra rune than he should be, but that's okay. I mean, this game I don't think is really going to be altered by that much at all, to be honest, because he is at a very, very advantageous position. We're going to see if we can try to come back from this spot in any way. We can probably answer the Scorcher and the Snapvine in a couple different ways, but that Kadrigan is going to be a very, very big problem. We take a peek at Rishi's hand there. He's got a lot of 2-ofs there. He's got a Sky Splitter. He's got Mobilize, Catalyst of Aeons, which at this point, since he's almost max ramped, probably is going to lead to some draws instead of actual ramps. So we will drop the Void Seeker. And this is going to result in a trade between the Noxus Hopeful and the Void Seeker just to get something off the board there. Doesn't feel all that great, but at least Void Seeker drew us a card back. So it wasn't completely minus. We will drop the Immortal Phoenix into the fortified position. We'll go ahead and play a Poro into our base just to develop our board a little bit. And a Hopeful as well. Now he's easily going to be able to deal with our Immortal Phoenix in the fortified position. Maybe I should have actually swung the Phoenix into the Snapvine just to remove more of his board. Even though I wouldn't have gotten a point out of that, it would have just been one less thing on his board I would have actually had to deal with. That may have definitely been a much better play. He's going to go ahead and grab his hold point there. Kadrigan's going to go ahead and answer my Immortal Phoenix at the fortified position. That should bring him up to 5. And he's dropping the second Dazzling Aurora. So I think this one's pretty chalked for us. RIP to your boy Darius. I don't know if we have a chance to come back from double Dazzling Aurora, but we'll see. So the way this works is I do believe that since both Auroras are resolving first, I think Kadrigan resolves after everything has been played. So this should result in a draw 4. Once again, if I'm getting that wrong, definitely let me know in the comments down below. But I'm pretty sure that this results in him getting a draw 4, which is just way too much advantage. If I somehow sneak back into this game, maybe we'll have a regional title run in our hands or something, because this is looking very, very rough. We do draw Noxian Guillotine, but it's probably too little too late. We can probably snipe the Cadrigan out of the fortified position, but he's got another one just to follow up with immediately. If his flips off Aurora were a little bit worse, maybe I'd have a little bit of a better chance here, but we'll see, I guess. So we're going to go ahead and play the Seal of Rage just to activate our Legion. This turns on our Noxian Guillotine immediately. So we'll go ahead and hit the Cadrigan there, although again, seems like it's too little too late, but we'll see what we can do. Throw the Hopeful in for our 6th point. Play Kaisa just to maybe prepare for a follow-up turn, but we'll see what we can do here. Look at those 2 of challenges in Rishi's hand, though. I mean, he could just answer my entire board with the greatest of ease. And he draws a Stormbringer on top, so yeah, this one's looking rough for sure. I was thinking about, do I Snapvine, do I challenge, do I draw cards with Mobilize, or do I just Starfall? I mean, Starfall here's, nah, not the greatest actually, because I have 2 4-might units, not 2 3-might units. So swing right into the Noxus Hopeful, makes a ton of sense. Rishi can do whatever he wants to do with challenge. Yep, clear out my entire board here. Go ahead and do it again. Falling Star, he could have challenged Falling Star, he could have done whatever he wanted there. And that's going to be the game pretty much, because now I have no shot of getting back. He's going to be able to hold on his next turn, go to 8. So there you go, guys. That is an aggro build versus Volibear. Volibear even went second and still pulled that one out. Double Aurora, absolutely nuts. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about that game, where things could have gone differently, and I will see you guys in the next one.